France in 2003, where the Deobon family moved to Nantes, 50 kilometers from the coast. The family consists of Father Xavi, who is 50 years old, and he is a businessman who founded the specialized company in the field of tourism and hotels. Partially in a school, he married Xavi and a female in 1991. The two parties arranged at that time the engagement and marriage ceremony quickly, and after a short period of marriage they separated. Then they reconciled after discovering that she was pregnant with her first child. In 2011, conditions and the family were stable. The eldest son Arthur has turned 20 and is studying computer science at university. He also works part-time and trades our own apartment in a nearby small town. Tom is 18 years old and he is a student at the conservatory and plays the piano with great skill, while the 16-year-old is a distinguished student and interested in history and religions. The youngest son of my family, Benoit, is 13 years old, and his personality is very similar to that of his father. This family is perfect, but let's continue the story for you. The strange events began on the 4th of April of 2011, when a female did not go to work. Her boss and colleagues noticed her anxiety because she was not used to absent from work, and when she changed she called, explaining the reason for that, or at least sending a message. The manager tried to contact her again and again, and after all the attempts failed, her husband, Xavi, called me, who told him that his wife was fine and suffering from some pain in the throat. Therefore, being absent from work for a short period on that day, the children were absent when they studied, and the father received many phone calls inquiring about the reason for the absence of the children. The father presented the same need to all parties. On the 8th of April, the headmaster of the school in which females work met a text message from her saying that she did not go to work for a long time because of her presence in the hospital. A message has been sent to the school where the two young sons study, and this is the text of a message. We inform you that due to our job change and the imminent move to Australia, our children will not go to school again. After that, he met the principal of the school in which the females work, a letter from her, asking for a female to be fired. In the letter, females indicated that they would travel outside the country to receive treatment. But the strange thing about that letter is the expectation below it. This was not expecting a female, everything was normal, and in 1 week the family decided to leave. Why were the friends and relatives not informed of this in advance? And how the children will change their schools in the middle of the semester, that is what we will talk about now. Relatives, friends, and family received a computer-printed letter that was very strange as it was printed in 4 full pages. In that letter, Xavi explained everything about this sudden departure by saying, "Welcome, they had to leave suddenly to the United States of America. We will inform you of the circumstances that prompted us to do so in this letter, which was sent by post because we will not be able to use modern means of communication. When you receive the message, we will have already left France and will not be able to return." His brother Christine Xavi also received that message. What caught her attention was her sister's talk about the U.S. Witness Protection Program. And that when he founded his company in 2003, they were contacted by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, symbolized by DEA, which diverts the recruitment of the French to spy on money laundering and drug trafficking. And Xavi also sent another letter to my sister in which he requested that groups of tasks be carried out, including the sale of home and car furniture. As for female relatives, he did not believe what was mentioned in a letter about the Witness Protection Program and decided to deliver this letter to the investigators. It is true that this is a kind of program for my mother-in-law that exists in the world, but the witnesses or secret agents cannot reveal their secret identity in this way to all friends and relatives. The security authorities put all family members on the missing list. On the 16th of April, the house was searched. It was completely empty. Even electrical devices were taken. The police did not find any physical evidence inside the house. On April 15, the house was searched again, and there was no new result. On the 21st of April, a press conference was held at the court. There, pictures of family members were shown in the hope that the authorities would get help from the community to solve the case. After that, the house was searched again. The policemen found 5 bodies buried in the garden at a depth of only 50 centimeters. The bodies were 3: an adult male, an adult woman and a young girl, but the bodies were rotting. This prevented the interrogators from verifying their bodily identity. But at the same time, the investigators had no doubts that these were the Deobon family members. But where is the father's body? The investigation of the banking transactions revealed that the family visited the movie theater on April 3. After that, he had dinner at a nearby restaurant, and when looking at the telephone correspondence, it was found that the last message was sent at midnight from that daughter's phone to one of her friends. This means that there are many unanswered questions. After that, the investigators came home again. In the bedroom, a pulse oximeter was found. It is a device that females use to monitor their breathing during sleep. According to the device's records, the measurement stopped at 6:30 in the morning that same night. Before the results of the DNA analysis appear, the investigators declared with confidence that the bodies found in the garden of the house were the bodies of the family members. The strange thing is that the police could not find any other evidence or fingerprints except for one thing. The bodies were not only covered in dirt, but were also buried under different layers of construction. There was a wooden board and under it a layer of dirt, and then a layer of constructive cash was left, then a thickness of 2 centimeters of cement was applied, and then another layer of earth. Then a layer of tarpaulin and another layer of dirt under it. Underneath it all the police found a layer of lime, but why? Was this to prevent the odors from rotting organic matter? Each corpse was wrapped in a bathtub, then a large sleeping bag in a garbage bag. There were 2 pillows placed under the head of everything, a corpse. The investigator did not succeed in finding the body of the father, who recovered. That is what made him the first accused. Every body was hit by 2 bullets to the head. The bullets were fired at close range with a silencer. I tell the boy that he who lives in my city soon, that his mother had an accident and I must come home immediately. This explains why one of the bodies died after the rest, about 48 hours. The bank statements revealed to Xavi that it had suffocated a number of materials from a nearby commercial center a few days earlier, including lime. It is true that the family began as an ideal that was just a mask. It wasn't the company that Xavi founded to support the family. He used the money his wife inherited to finance the company, and that led to the outbreak of conflict between the spouses several years ago. During the investigation, a post was found that the wife had written in a forum, where she was complaining about a quarrel with her husband. At the same time, Xavi was able to hide the fact of bankruptcy from his family, and try to pretend richly. Police finally obtained one testimony in the case, a woman who says she has loaned him $50,000 to save his company from bankruptcy. That was not enough, and Xavi ended up becoming a failed businessman with his husband's lives included. That pushed him to put an end to everything. Soon, the police got a recording from a surveillance camera, where another Xavi-owned cars appeared, heading towards the south of the country. He recovered from one city to another, and on the 14th of April he went to the ATM and withdrew $30. Then he left his car in the parking lot and disappeared completely. The car park where Xavi left his car was a kilometer from the border with Italy. The start of the investigation into the case was late, so Xavi managed to escape, and the police could not find any other evidence leading to him. To this day, the French police have not reached any new results. Sister Xavi believes in her brother's innocence. She says that her brother could not dig a hole the size of 3 cubic meters in one night by yourself. And the length of the corpse was not compatible with the height of the family members. Christina says the police have not provided any evidence for 2 subjects in this case. Also, the police at that time did not have a source for the family's DNA to compare it with the DNA of the corpses. Were the corpses fake? Was everything managed by the security authorities or some other party? Concealment of something. Christina believes that all the family members are fine. And they live somewhere in this world. Xavi is today on the list of wanted criminals at the international level. But no security organization has been able to monitor his movements. And eyewitnesses have not seen him anywhere in the world until today. The disappearance of this family remains one of the most mysterious issues in the history of France. Like today's topic, do not skimp on us by liking and subscribing to the channel.